making that decision is something that I look back on and be like, I could have did that. I could have did that. The day I stopped, the day I felt comfortable and just decided like, man, I'm gonna slide back into here. Y'all boys having fun over here. Let me slide back into this.
Wait, so the day you stopped doing the God
doing
stuff?
doing the God way, it went right back to shambles. I never fully doubted that there was a God. I just didn't think he cared about me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I was getting high in the car of an apartment complex. I'm looking forward. Now I know, like, at this point, I know I'm getting too high. So I look out to the left of me, look out the car. There was not a single car next to me. Every car that was next to us in that parking lot had disappeared. And I just started to hear like a drum, like boom. And it just kept getting louder. Kept getting louder.
All right, bro. What up?
What up,
bro?
What up?
So, y'all, this is my younger brother. This is Tim. I ain't gonna say his full name. Timothy feel like corny though. Like if you don't look like a Timothy, but because I know you, Timothy,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You like a Timothy, but you look like your name will be like shorter, like
Come
John.
John?
Yeah, like shorter, like straight to the point, like
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, don't nobody call me that.
And I think because everybody call you Tim, like
Yeah, like, but even in college, like, no professors, nobody really, unless, how mom do it. You done did some, Timothy.
Timothy. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, for sure,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, so we got Tim here, and we just the goal of a lot of these podcasts is because I want to give people like who may not have a very widespread voice a chance to tell their story or talk about things that they've been through. And this one kind of cool to me because I don't know
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Even though you my little brother and
Yeah.
I've known you for the majority of your life, well, all your life, but I wasn't with you
Yeah.
for some of the most probably important parts of your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's very interesting to me because you are able to help people and tell people about it, even if they want to judge or whatever. But just share that because sometimes I feel like sharing it can get some off your chest.
Facts.
At the
Facts.
same time, like
Facts.
releasing some of the stuff that you've been through, it might help to like let your life go smoother in a certain way.
Yeah.
But I start with a question that I'm gonna ask every guest. Have you and since Isaac like he kind of watching too, so it's kind of he can kind of think on his, so he
Yeah.
is probably gonna be a
Yeah.
lot better. But you know, have you ever doubted God, and if so, why? And I ain't talking about like God, God told you to do something, and you was like, I don't know God. No, I'm talking about I don't know if God is real.
Yeah.
Doubted God. I'm talking about
Yeah.
I'm talking about extreme
Yeah.
doubt.
Gotcha.
And if you have, what was the situation that may have led up to it, or what was the situation that or of why you felt like that?
Okay. My situation was more so I and I feel like I gave that testimony kinda in church. Like, I never really knew God for myself. So it was a lot of gray area for me anyway. So going off to school, being by myself, not being under that, we going to church on Friday, Wednesday, Sunday. Even if you are struggling with something, being in that atmosphere helps you.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
keep and to keep, like, I feel like that's repetitive teaching. Like, to so you kind of feel, not even if you feel forced, you kind of just be like, I might as well just at least, if you act something out for so long, you start to believe it.
That's boy.
So when I got away from that, I wasn't going to church on Sundays at Faulkner. Like, I wasn't.
So you talking about like when you was by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I wasn't going to church. Like, I was, I was going. I would get up, probably eat some, go to the field, and that's it. Like, and then just chill. Like, I wasn't. So there wasn't any acknowledgement. But if I'm gonna start from the beginning, it was, I went in, give all glory to God, the whole deal.
When in what? What you mean?
Went into college, as
Okay.
in give all glory to God. He got you this far, the whole spiel. put God first, and I went in once again acting that out because I don't know if I fully believed it, because if I did, I wouldn't have doubted it when I did. So, you know, acting that out. Who you believe in, Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. And I got to a point where I just kept going through injuries, right? So I kept going through points where every time it looked like I was about to go get a break as far as the thing that I felt like I was there for, like the thing I
Which
felt like
is
to play ball,
okay.
the thing I felt like I was, God, you led me here. But that what I don't even know if God led me there. I just believe He guided me through it. See what I'm saying? I don't I don't I don't think that was a navigation that I had to go through. That was something that I chose to go through, and He was there with me.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying? So going through those injuries, I was kind of like, in my mind, I was like, how can the feeling, like, that was the first time I think I had called dad. Like, I tore my hamstring. No, I strained it, and then I came back playing, getting good reps. Coaches getting real interested in me, and then I tore it right before the season. Right after COVID.
So it was strained.
It was strained. I got
You.
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Training. Did a summer. COVID, obviously, everybody was out of school. We went back that spring, that
So th-
following spring.
so this 21.
It's 21.
Mm-hmm.
Got to camp, which would have been fall camp because we played a spring football season.
Mm-hmm.
And I tore my hamstring, like completely tore it.
Mm.
And that was the first time, like, I called dad, like, crying. I was like, I want to go home. Like, at that point, I didn't want to do it, but the thoughts of doubt came in to where, like, if he know, because at that point I had developed such a care for football, like, that I never did. And when you was home with us, you would drive, and we'd be like, man, we chilling. But like, when that attraction and traction,
Mm-hmm.
so where people was like, hey, I'm finna come watch you play. I need you to put on performance so I can
Gotcha.
tell the head coach that we want you.
We scout.
We scouting you.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of like, oh, I gotta actually put some effort in. This is a way to not get my parents to pay for school. So that came with all that, and I started to actually care. So when I started to care, I was like, how could he just let something that I care about so much fail, like, over and
Right.
over and over again? And that's where I kind of was just like, I won't just be like, I won't say I ever out of my mouth said God ain't real, or ever ask somebody, you think God really real? I never did that, but in the room where if God was real to me, I would have actually acknowledged Him. I was just kind of like, nah, He don't really, like, he ain't messing with me for real.
Like distant
Yeah,
relationship. Like I know he probably there, but
yeah,
I ain't gotta say nothing to him. I see him
exactly,
and I what up?
exactly. Like, in I call myself a realist. So to completely answer your question before I continue,
Mm-hmm.
I always believed there was a God.
Mm-hmm.
Always believed there was a God. I just didn't think that He cared about me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that junk sound kind of like corny to say,
Yeah,
like,
that's
when I
real.
think about it, but like, in that time I was just like, man, what? How? Like, going through what I went through, how? But now that I think about it, it's just like, it's so much that He probably was protecting me from,
Mm-hmm.
even in that.
Mm-hmm.
And going through those moments, I just would I was a realist, and I tell people that all the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I would tell my I would tell my homeboys, they'll be like, they'll talk to me, and I was the biggest, like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. But one
Motivator.
thing, like, and this was Christian values though, so not even motivator, like, trying to help these people live the right life. Yeah,
Oh,
like, this
okay.
is what you need to do. But I
Okay.
wasn't no hypocrite, and I would tell them, if I was to die right now, I'm going to hell.
Right. You weren't gonna lie to them
I
and make
wasn't
it
going.
seem
There
like you
was,
was better.
yeah, and that's where I think God, like, started to mold my heart, because I didn't care. Like, that's where I gained respect from people. That's where, like, people start. That's when I began to see the drawing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people were drawn to me
Mm-hmm.
because I was gonna be real, no matter what. Like, it didn't really matter. I was gonna keep it real.
Right.
So that's kind of like that spill of that situation. I never fully doubted that there was a guy. I just didn't think he cared about me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, I think that for the majority, it seemed like it was more so centered around your expectations going
Mm-hmm.
into college and stuff like that, and so it kind of you know unraveled seemingly when you got from under a certain protection,
Yeah,
like out of the house.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It seemed like it kind of unraveled because now you have to fend for yourself on an everyday basis in your mind. And of
exactly.
course you have to do that by yourself, but you always got the reassurance of the people that's close to you. They gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you good even when you ain't.
Exactly.
But when you by yourself, now I gotta call you to
Mm-hmm.
get that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm feeling bad, I don't wanna call. I don't
Exactly.
all the time feel like calling.
Exactly. Exactly.
So with that understanding and it starting there, we gonna go back. We
Okay.
gonna go all the way back.
Okay.
How was it being the youngest child and some of the stereotypes of the youngest children, like being spoiled or
Yeah.
having certain privileges or not
Yeah.
having certain privileges? How was it like for you being the youngest child? Because it's not like you can redo it and be like the oldest sibling.
Yeah.
You the youngest child.
Yeah.
How was that for you mentally growing up? How was that for you?
It was, to be honest, it was great. Like being able, because the thing that I learned being the youngest child is that y'all were the footprints, which is why I got so much respect for you and Ty. Like
Hmm.
y'all didn't have nobody to look up to learn
That's
how to
real.
do it. You see what I'm
That's real.
saying?
Hmm.
Like y'all had to just do this. So your work ethic,
Hmm.
Titus' dedication to what he loved. Like
Right.
I seen these things as I'm going. Wow. Like we know, like I was spoiled. Like
Yeah.
I got the less chastisement. I got
Hmm.
the most like here
Right.
you go, here you go, here
Right.
you go,
Right.
here you
Right.
go. So it was cool, but it wasn't just like cool in a point where I felt like I just turned to a like little riding little like I felt like I learned a lot from that. I,
Right. You wasn't no brat.
yeah,
Right.
nah, nah,
Right. Right.
nah, nah. I was we were respectful people in
Hmm.
public. At the crib, I probably was a brat,
Hmm.
but like in public, mom and dad they raised us the way to be very respectful, which is love the Cody boy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, but yeah, like at the crib, I was the youngest. I was a little I was a
Right.
little off the hinges. Yeah.
Right. Right. But it wasn't nothing. It wasn't like you said. It wasn't nothing too crazy
Mm-mm.
from the uh from the perception of the crib though. Like within the bounds of the crib, yeah, you was probably. I mean, you out of you and Ty, it was some some like fighting back there
Yeah.
with parents and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
compared to other people, like I was telling them on the last podcast,
Mm.
the families we would go around, we'll come home and be like,
Yeah.
"Yo, we got it good."
Nah, that's real.
Whether we were being taken care of or our behavior,
Exactly.
our environment, what we was around all the time. We
Mm-hmm.
was like, man, we straight.
Yeah.
Like, ain't no reason for us to be tripping like that. But um, you still have your situations in the house. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think you being the youngest, like you said, it is a blessing. You can see footprints because all the time it ain't. Oh, I'm gonna follow in Big Bro.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's I'm not doing what Big Bro
Exactly.
did.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like was there certain things that you was like, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna that thing that maybe Big Bro or mom or dad is telling me, I don't know if I'm doing that. Was there things that how for example, some people see how they used to get chastised a lot and they like, I
Mm-hmm.
ain't whooping my kids.
Mm.
Was there certain things like that that you was like, I see that, but I ain't doing that?
Um.
Or were there more things that you was like, I gotta make sure I do that for my kids, or I'm gonna do that when I get older, or
It was. I'll say it was more things because like we. I don't know. I just feel like it depends on how you look at it. But for me, it was more things that I was more on the lines of like I'm gonna take with me into my family than more things I was like, nah, I
Nah.
don't like the way. Like I know for one thing, at least to that point, I didn't want to be angry. Like I know I seen, dad, he battled with that anger and he would be angry and he would say stuff and then have to apologize. And I didn't want to like take that with me and I started that started creeping up on me. Like that like I would talk to my wife now crazy. I would, you know what I'm saying? I would let little stuff trigger me and then when I sit back I'd be like, "What?
Right.
I'm tripping." But those good things like always being around the church and teaching your kids to, bro, it was so big for us to each and every morning say, I'm a leader and not a follower, I'm a lender and not a borrower, I'm the heads and not the tails. Like that stuff was so deep in our subconscious and
Yeah.
in our like inner man. Like we we didn't have to think about it, we just reacted and it was us, you know
It
what I'm saying?
was
So
us.
that's the type of stuff like I was like, bro, when I get older, like this is what my kids gonna hear. Like just different stuff like that. um I could go on and on, but it wasn't much. Like I said, I really looked up to y'all. It wasn't much where I was just like, nah, I can't go that route. um I know, okay, I can say this for Titus. I didn't want to. Titus had a a a heart that was so soft and moldable that people would tend to like play with him. And I was that hardened me in that moment. And then like I will always see you, and we laughed around each other, but when you was like in public, you had this straight face, like real like demeanor. So I was like, I'm gonna do the demeanor, and I ain't gonna just be like super soft. That's the only things like but with your demeanor, people say I always smile. So I'm gonna smile, but I'm gonna be serious. But
That's
I'm
real.
not gonna be so soft where they think they can play with me. So I'm gonna let everything be known. Like, nah, you can't play with me, but you know what I'm saying? We cool.
Right, we cool.
Yeah.
It ain't no beef.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not like ungodly to be that way. I mean, you can be friendly, which I believe in being friendly too, but I just feel like sometimes you have to guard your I call it guarding your heart.
Yeah.
Because some
Yeah.
people will play on you based on your what they perceive. Oh, he's so nice. He's
Exactly.
so because I am.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Yeah.
But I don't want I want the people who want to be around me, and I know you the same, who want to be around me to be around me because of me, not because they know what they can get from me.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and so that's very like I agree, that's very vital to kind of like build and learn from stuff like that. Because yes, Titus was, especially like with certain girls, they treated him like dirt,
Yep.
and then he'll be like, oh well, I ain't
Yeah.
no oh
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
no oh well. So all right, let's pivot this way, because I
Okay.
know this was a big part of your life too. In Park League, you played football. You played a lot of sports, but football was like one of the things that you kind of caught onto in high school. You coming from middle school to high school. What what made you like solidify football as your sport, like the thing that I'm a chase after? And was there a certain time that you was like, yeah, this the one? Like, was there a certain story or experience that you was like, oh, I'm good at this?
Um, I remember. I know this. Because I was playing. So I took a break from football. So I played that park. I played park league when I was like from 7 to 8 years old. Mom didn't like what was around us. She didn't like the language. She didn't
Right,
like how they carried itself.
right.
So I didn't play park ball, but I kept playing basketball. I played soccer. I did these different things, and I was okay at basketball until I started seeing everybody shoot up. Like people was getting tall, and I wasn't going
Right,
nowhere.
right,
I was kind of like, hold
right.
on, hold on, hold
Nah.
on. So it didn't really matter how good I could shoot the ball, how fast I can get past somebody. I was kind of like, I was starting to think serious. Like I was like,
Being real, really,
a realist.
you got
I'm a
realist. Yeah.
that's the name of the game. So
Mhm.
I'm like, Then football came back around. I'm gonna be honest. When I came back to football, I wasn't none. I ain't gonna lie. I was athletic, but hand-eye coordination was gone.
Yeah, but at Tremere, you was straight. You
I,
was,
I was good at Tremere,
yeah, know what I'm
but
saying.
I hadn't played since 8.
But you don't just lose that stuff.
You don't lose it, but people get better.
So you saying you stayed at a certain level while people elevated.
People elevated, and I tell people all the time, if I would have played from that level to all the way up, bro, these people wouldn't be able to mess with nothing,
Right.
none.
Right.
Like so, but that was the plan. Whatever happened, I don't you know what I'm saying, I don't have no regrets in nothing that happened. I just feel like from that 8th grade year, it was so many people that were so much more skilled than me in certain areas that I felt like I needed to be. And then I would come and watch you play and watch Ty play. Ty was smacking junk, and I was like, I know I don't want to do that. I ain't finna hit
I
nobody.
was, yes, I
And
got
then I would watch you, and I would see the little shiftiness.
you. Mhm.
And at that time, they didn't have me playing no offense,
Right.
straight defense. You
What was
know,
this? Middle school or high school?
middle school,
Middle school.
middle
Yeah.
school, and my 9th grade year.
Mhm.
So middle school, 9th grade year, I'm playing straight defense, playing cornerback at 5'6". But I'm not going for nothing though.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
my 9th grade year, I'm playing. I'm like, cool. I see all these good people above me. I didn't watch you play and play with the best of them at 5'6". You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, if he can do it, like I can do it. Like he set the standard.
Yep. Yep.
And Tight is on the field next to him. I'm like, man, let's go. We can make this happen.
Mhm.
And my 9th grade year, I had a cool little JV season. And then my 10th grade year, that summer going into my 10th grade year, I was killing, like going crazy. And they let me know like a month before the season, like, you're going to be the starting DB this year. I'm like, not even in a nervous or scared way, but like oh, let's go. Like, for real?
Okay.
Like, for real? Like, this for real?
Right.
Like, almost like surprised that you feel like I'm skilled enough.
So you feel like your elevation from 9th grade, then in the 10th, the summer going into 10th grade,
Yes.
was your.
Game changer.
So what did you do? What was it? Your mentality change, or was it a skill change, training? What
I'm gonna
was
be
it?
honest. I was, like I said, I was kind of lazy. When it came to doing after work. Like,
Right.
I'm just doing stuff during. I promise you, I feel like all of it came from. I think, like you said, like you don't lose that type of stuff. I think it was just rust that came off.
Right.
Because when I played Trinity Garden, that was my first time ever playing organized football, and I was like the best player on my team, and that was just off of one. And I felt like all the confidence came back, all the rust came off,
Right.
like, and I was just. That's why it wasn't like I was just so inclined, or even that I just got so much better by my senior year. I just had got to that point where it's like, all right, I know how to compete with these boys now. So when you know how to compete, you're gonna play. And that's just kind of what I feel it was. From that 9th grade to 10th grade year, I got confidence and learned how to compete again.
Yeah.
That's all I feel like it was, for real.
Yeah. Okay. So was that when you was just like, all right, was you playing any other sports? 9th grade.
Nah, I thought about playing basketball, but we went to a basketball heavy school. They took
Cool.
it serious. So that's when, once again, the confidence factor, right? So I'm a big realist on, like, so, but even though
I might title this mug, I'm a realist.
like, for real though, but like that's not even, to be honest, that wasn't even being realist. That was just like being fearful and being scared and not having confidence. That's all it came from.
Because I feel like at the same time you competing.
And I know if I would have started when I wanted to start, which was my 8th grade year, tried out, played basketball, did all this, I would have been okay. I know I would have been okay because I know people that played and was okay. That's why I feel that way.
Yeah.
But I was so scared and so timid that I was just like, because you learn so much stuff. I just, like, I picture, when I say stuff like that, I picture like the countless drills that you're going to do, the countless summers, the countless hours that you're going to put in that I didn't put in, and what the difference would have been if I would have just kept going with that. So I only really played football, and then when they start doing the dual athlete scholarships, I ran track.
Mm-hmm.
So up to this point, ninth grade year, going to 10th, I'm only playing football.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. So you were only playing football,
Mm-hmm.
and in doing that, you had a pretty good career
Mm-hmm.
in high school. A career that got you some looks from D2,
Mm-hmm.
D1
Mm-hmm.
looks.
Mm-hmm.
Even what's it N, NCI
NAI.
NAI,
Yep. 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 Yep.
right? You got different all across the board
Mm-hmm.
from different leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And so, did that ever like get to your head where you know how some athletes get a little arrogant, or did it and it made you like relax, or
Mm-hmm.
did it make you more hungry? If you can remember, like how was your mindset when you started to get some interaction from higher levels?
Okay. So my junior year, my sophomore year, I played a little running back. Junior year, played both sides, like strict both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Played DB, running back,
Mm-hmm.
had a real good junior year. That summer going into my senior year, we had the best camp a Faith Academy team had. We
Mm-hmm.
went 12-1 that summer, losing to a good Saraland team.
Mm-hmm.
Like we dominated Mississippi. We
Mm-hmm.
dominated the Saraland camp. Besides losing to Saraland,
Mm-hmm.
dominated this dominated at the one we hosted. We were a real good 7-on-7 team,
Mm-hmm.
and people were coming to see that, and they were seeing the versatility,
Mm-hmm.
and it was schools. Georgia State came, talked to me and one of my friends. All right, checking my GPA. I need you to have this type of year this year.
Mm-hmm.
West Florida came and said, I need you to have this type of game. And like you said, like I was getting,
Like real life NCAA, like
yeah,
when they had the little
yeah, nah, like
requirements.
like for real. And I don't feel like it made me hungry or nervous. I mean, hungry or complacent. I feel like it made me nervous. I felt
Really?
like the confidence factor like chipped back in because I heard that at the beginning of my season. Um, and I had a great game my first game. Had a real good game my first game. Player of the week for the city, or player of the week for the city. And then I heard from West Florida, and I had did a camp there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like real intrigued. I was like, man, like I might can do this. And then we played a team that just out schemed us, and that made my confidence go down because
From
I
one
got
game?
out one game. I felt I was so streaky then because I didn't really have. If I played bad at running back, I did some good on defense. If I played bad on
Gotcha.
defense, I was
You
running the
played
ball
both
real good.
ways.
And if
Gotcha.
I had a great game both ways, I was turned. You know what I'm saying? And because they out schemed me on every level of that game, and I didn't hear back from that school. I didn't hear back
They
from
ain't
them.
hit you back next week.
No, that was the I need you to do this game.
Ah.
I need you to do this game, or we rather have you do a PWO. And when I heard that, I didn't hear offer.
And so what's PWO?
Preferred walk on.
Okay.
I didn't hear we want you to come play for us on the scholarship. And it's 2018, so like ain't no NIL, and I'm not thinking like I can earn some.
Right.
I'm like I'm gonna have to go to Florida. My parents gonna have to pay for me to play football. Like that's not the goal.
Right.
So I was kind of like I started get I got into I ain't get depressed. I got into a low space like football wise, and I just had to turn it back on.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished that season pretty well, but never heard back from the schools that I wanted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's how that happened.
I got you. Okay, so then we go from there and we transition into college. You end
Yep.
up going to Faulkner in Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you end up deciding with. And uh, initially, what was your mindset as far as playtime? And then from that initial mindset or your initial expectation, how did everything play out? And you foreshadowed earlier, but I want you to kind of like tell, from that perspective
Yeah.
how it
Um,
played out.
I thought I was gonna play my freshman year. I
Like start
was
or like get like
no,
playtime.
I just play. Like I thought I was gonna play my freshman year, and again, like it is levels which I understand, but I knew what potential I had. These schools that came and seen me, and I felt, and what I felt Faulkner was at.
Gotcha.
And I was like, all right, they wanted me, and I didn't do what they wanted. I should be able to perform here with ease.
I got you. I see.
Not even a cockiness, not even, just felt like,
Realist.
why can't I
Right.
perform at fault? Like,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
So,
Right.
um, they did the little cool thing, and the head coach was, we bringing in Timothy Cody,
Mm-hmm.
both side guy. We really expect to play him early. Like, I'm hearing this stuff and it's going into my head, and I'm like, just keep working. That summer I got with a trainer for the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
First time having a trainer, going hard. Now I'm bought in.
Oh, D.
D.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm bought in. Like, I got a trainer now. Like, let's go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not lazy no more. Let's work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, doing everything. I get there. Number one depth chart. Freshman came in first. Number one on the depth chart for the freshman. They're running back. They asked me what you want to play. Cornerback or running back. We would rather you play cornerback, which was the scariest thing I ever heard in my life.
Why?
I didn't want to play defense. So
'Cause
that's my spiel. I didn't want to tackle nobody. I just wanted to play the ball. But I knew at this college level, you going to have to hit somebody. And making that decision is something that I look back on and be like, I could have did that. I could have did that, John.
I feel like that's kind of like how, like for instance, with me with YouTube, I do not like doing reaction videos
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I don't like doing them because to me, I feel like sometimes I gotta be dramatically controversial.
Exactly.
But at the same time, those are the best
Yep.
performing videos that
Yep.
I do.
Yep.
And so it's like, all right, I might need to just do this to get in the door,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can pivot once I build,
Exactly.
a community.
Exactly.
You feel like that was kind of the same?
Oh, man, like, once I found out how everything operate, I definitely look back and see that I could have performed at DB, and then once they seen the athletic ability, I could have. What y'all think about me here? Because we had battle running back injury, and I was one of them. Like, but our running backs was going down, down, down.
Right.
But I was one of them. So that second week of camp, I tore my hamstring or strained my hamstring. Second week of camp, we haven't even put on pads yet. Strained my hamstring. So now from first in the freshman to last in the freshman, now the other guys are back who are returners. I don't practice for 2-3 weeks. They didn't show what they can do in pads, and I haven't showed nothing. So now when I come back, it's almost first game time. Why would you?
Yeah.
So now I'm in a pickle where I'm like, dang, all right, let's red shirt. Red shirt, you know what I'm saying? Cool, just come back. And that's kind of where it started to decline, like my confidence. From that point on, it started to decline. So
Yeah. So then every year after that, you got injured pretty significantly, huh?
yep, tore my hamstring that following year, which would have been after COVID. After that, I tore my pec.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So now I'm looking at like, okay, am I doing something wrong, God? Like, like I'm really like trying to figure out like which and at that point I'm kind of like, all right, let's try this, and I figure let's actually give this God thing a try.
Okay.
I'm a stop doing all the things I do, and I didn't know if you wanted to get into that.
Oh, we gonna get
Yeah,
into it.
I'm gonna stop doing all the things I do, everything like from top to bottom. I'm gonna acknowledge you every day that I can. I'm gonna try my best, and I got into that. To make a long story short, which I'm sure we'll get into, the day I stopped, the day I felt comfortable and just decided like, man, I'm gonna slide back into here. Y'all boys having fun over here. Let me slide back into this.
Wait, so the day you stopped doing the God stuff?
Doing the God way,
Okay.
it went right back to shambles. Right when it was looking real good, real good, real good. Just to put this in context, right when it looked real good, Tim, it's time to play.
No
No,
injury?
coach, let's bring a DB to running back. I promise. Can't make it up. Right when I was about to play, I can't forget it. Mom came to that game. I called. I was like, They said dress out this game. Like I'm gonna play. Before that, like during warm ups, he comes from the DB drills to running back drills. Don't know no plays.
What?
I kid you not. Kid you not.
And this is when you was
At the
doing it God's way, but then you said, "Well, let me go back to."
Yep, yep.
So, what? Why you do that? What made you go back to doing that? Just to
Cause everything started getting better.
so you was like, all right, I'm good
I'm
now. I'm
good.
out the
I
clique
did
because I
enough.
was doing it
I
for.
did enough. Because I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it so he would bless me. I wasn't doing it to help my life. I was doing it so he would help me. I wasn't really. He know my heart. It was fake. So he showed me fake.
Dang.
That's how I look at it. Me and Gully talk about that all the time, cause we went through the exact same thing. We was on like a. It was
Yeah.
like we was on a journey together. In the time we stopped, he had an injury, and that situation happened to me. Kid you not. It's the craziest thing I ever seen. And after that, I knew in my mind, because I'm a realist at this point. We already know this. I knew in my mind, the moment I stopped doing that is the moment this happened. But instead of going back to him, I'm angry now. Now I'm mad. Because like he could have let me play. Like he could have let me play.
Dang.
Come on, man. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm watching a movie and I'm like, God, you could have just
He
let
could
him.
have let me play. Is what I'm thinking. And I'm like, wow. And that I didn't play it all that season. That was game 3.
And I feel like people that's probably listening to this, they was rooting for you to play.
Yeah.
In that story, I'm like, okay, God's gonna
So
let him
this
play.
is this is the breakdown.
I'm mad.
Five
I'm basically saying I'm mad at God too.
5 years. I spent 5 years there because I had the medical red shirt first year and COVID year.
COVID.
I have eligibility to this day. Like I still got eligibility. Ready.
That's
Waiting on the call.
crazy.
Nah. But
That's crazy.
couldn't play my first year because I got a medical. Then I had a COVID extra year. So now I'm in my sophomore year in the classroom. Year 0 really on the field because it really
Right,
still
0.
don't count.
Yep.
Now I'm in my junior year in the classroom and this happens. So I am 20, 19, 20 at this point, third year in college, thinking I'm finna play, still don't. That situation
No
happened.
way. No way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's devastating. So then I feel like this is a good transition point. I'm sure the stuff that you like you said you foreshadowed to stuff you was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it turned up a little
Oh
bit
yeah.
more after that.
Oh yeah.
So get into some of that college life and some of the experiences that you had, some of the things that you was doing that you felt like because, like you said at the beginning, you weren't really acknowledging God. You felt like I'm gonna just do this.
Yep.
I'm gonna do me.
Yep.
What was some of that experience like?
Uh, sex, drugs, alcohol, profanity, lying, stealing, like wanting to be an aggressor, like just wanting to,
Enforcer,
daring somebody,
waiting on the opportunity. Can you
doing
give us some
like
examples?
it was times where I've been in the car with people, threatening to like when we see him we gonna kill him, and I'm like let's do it.
Wow.
And I have and
You
when I sit back
motivating
and
that.
think of that junk, like that junk give me chills because it's like that's not even you, that wasn't me, that's not me. Uh, getting high like to the point where now I need you, Jesus. What? I remember, bro. I kid you not, bro. Like I kid you not. I was getting high in the car. I was getting high in the car of an apartment complex with like 4 of my friends. I'm sitting in the back seat. We high. Apartment complex. I'm looking forward. Now I know, like at this point, I know I'm getting too high. Like I'm like,
What's
all right.
too high?
So there is a for me at least, I can't speak for everybody. For me, it was a chill aspect where it's chill, and then stuff starts to get just insanely funny. Like it shouldn't be this funny. And then it starts to get to where I start thinking too much. And when I get to that point, that's when I start thinking about the stuff that's really real.
Gotcha.
Right. So
that's too high.
That's too high.
Gotcha.
That's too high. I don't want to be there. Some people are okay with being there,
Right.
but with everything I learned growing up, I can't be there.
Right.
Because
Gotcha.
I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. You don't want to
That's
think
my
about it.
thoughts. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like I said, I know there's a God.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So I look out to the left of me, look out the car. There was not a single car next to me. Every car that was next to us in that parking lot had disappeared. And I just started to hear like a drum, like boom. And it just kept getting louder. Kept getting louder. And this is a hot box, right? So you can't really see because smoke, no air on, smoke is everywhere, but you can see that because you should be able to, right? It's not that smoke. It's not that smoke.
Right. You should see cars.
Yeah. Nothing. Now hear this drum, boom, 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 and it could have
You
been
was
the
at the
music.
club, dude.
It could have been the music. Listen, it could have been the music that was on, but ain't no way they listening to African music.
Right.
Come on.
Gotcha.
So I'm hearing this beat, and now my heart beating fast, almost to the point where I feel like a medical emergency is about to happen. Like I'm like getting like my heart beating too fast because now my mind's still racing, and I just pop open the door back to reality, see the cars, and now everybody, you broke the hot bars yelling at me, and I just start walking. They yelling at me while I'm just walking away because I know like this can't be. I can't keep doing this. I can't be doing this. And I did it again after that.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's terrifying, bro.
Yeah.
So was there a time where it got so bad that you was like, nah, this enough, and it made you come to reality? And I know you just explained that was like one of the times, but you just said I went back to it. Was there something that made you stop, or did you just continue until you changed?
Stop doing drugs?
Yeah, stopped. Even just your way of thinking of, I need the drugs for this, I need to go
Yeah.
sleep with a girl for this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Did
Nah.
something happen?
Yeah. Nah. What happened for me was another story where I got high, and this was the last time I smoked. Or this was the last time I got high. I know for sure after this I would pull it, but you not high. Like it's just inhaling smoke, and it was whatever. I wasn't gonna get high again though, because I was just like, let me do this because they here. But it was never. I knew I was never gonna get high again. I had I kid you not, bro. This is the craziest thing you gonna hear. You might think I'm lying, bro. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. I was in the couch just like this, and I'm in Troy. I go to school in Montgomery. I'm in Troy. Cool, whatever. And I'm smoking, and there's a few of us, and I am at this point. At this point, we're gonna fast forward. It is 3 of us smoking. It's about 5 of us in there. It's 3 of us smoking. I have at this point in rotation, which I'm puff, 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 pass, puff, 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 puff. We are on blunt 8. T. That John went hitting it. It ain't no way.
What?
Ain't no way I made it that far. But it is because what I went through after that, sitting on the couch. And my homeboy, he don't smoke. He don't smoke because he got a heart murmur, so he couldn't smoke. He was sitting on the couch away from me, like right there. And I'm sitting there, and he was getting further and further. Just kept zooming out, like a camera zooming out. He just kept bagging up. And then he turned his head, and he's like, "You straight, bro?" And we said that I had to get up. It's like, yeah, I'm straight. Walked to the bathroom. I went in the bathroom. Lights was off. Turned them on. Looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, bro, you gotta lock in. Like, these boys gonna think you tripping. Like, this in my head. My eyes bloodshot red. I'm tripping. Turn the lights off. And I just hear laughing. And I turn it back on.
Why you turn the lights off?
Cause I'm walking out. I'm walking out the door.
Oh, okay,
I'm about to walk out the door.
Okay.
Like, I turn the lights off. I'm like,
I thought you finna do some Bloody Marys.
everything in this moment is slow to me.
Okay.
Nothing is like regular motion. So if I was to get up, turn the light off, like you finna walk out the bathroom, you turn the light off. No, I'm like, all right, lock in, bro. Boom. Laughing. like not no like little kid. It was like and I turned the light on. But the reason why I was scared for me is because it was like right there.
Close.
Like it was somebody behind me. So I turned the light on and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm froze.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk out, leave the light on, sit back down. And then that drum come back. Boom, boom,
From in the
boom,
car.
boom, 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 boom. And at this point, I lay my head back. I ain't texted nobody. My girlfriend don't know where I'm at. She's
Mm-hmm.
worried. She's calling me, but I'm so terrified at this point. I lean my head back and I just hear the drum boom, 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 laughing, 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 laughing. And I just close my eyes and I just keep saying Jesus, Jesus. And I just feel like I'm sinking into the couch.
No way.
Like get out,
No way.
sinking into the couch. And I'm just saying Jesus, Jesus, Jesus in my head. And the one time I say like Jesus, like I said Jesus.
Out your mouth.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
said Jesus. And I woke up, it's 5 a.m. Isaiah, like, it's time to go, bro.
So
It's
that
time
was
to go.
going on for so long.
It's time to go, bro. It's time to, we finna go back to Faulkner. And I woke up high. Never in my life. Woke up high, got in the car, called my people. I'm on the way. What are you doing? Like, you ain't text me in hours. Like, you ain't called me in hours. Hey, bro, you straight? Like, you ain't called nobody back. I'm good. I'm on the way back to the, I ain't want to tell nobody. Because I knew they was going to clown me, but that was one of the most, like, traumatic, like, things I done went through at that point. So I'm like, nah, I'm done right there.
And so that was
That
enough
was
for you.
my that was like my last time like getting high.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was like, I'm straight,
Right.
straight.
I don't think I would have reacted like that.
Yeah.
But okay, so I wanna kind of wrap it up. And not to rush,
Nah,
nothing like
nah.
that. But I'm just saying I want to kind of round it,
Mm-hmm.
close the loop of the story. So now you're at this point in your life, you married, 4 kids. No, I'm just playing. You married. You training.
Yep,
You
yep,
pursuing your career, fitness training.
yep.
And you are living for God. You don't delve into those things that you used
Mm-hmm.
to, and you kind of are growing spiritually, mentally, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. What has it been coming from that and being where you are now? What are some of the key things that have happened that made you desire God again and understand His love in your life, even in the
Mm,
situation where you felt like he didn't
mm.
care about you?
Um. So I like I tried to start changing my life around towards the end of my college, like my senior year. Um. Then anytime I got frustrated, I would just go back to doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh. And my senior year, my senior season didn't go the way I wanted it to, and I would go get frustrated. So I went back to partying and doing stuff to not think about the frustration or to not pray. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And then I, I would dabble and pray, and then go back, and
Mm-hmm.
then pray, and then go back, and
Mm-hmm.
then as God, and I would just do all these different things and crazy stories driving while I'm intoxicated and
Mm-hmm.
driving from Auburn to uh Montgomery while I'm intoxicated and driving on the highway and like what came full circle. I remember it was a church service and uh it was y'all was singing a song and I don't even remember the song because like that was the first time like I actually felt that like because I would be like, bro, how y'all like God talking to you? What is that? What is that? Like I didn't know what that was. Are you gonna hear a voice or
Right.
is you gonna? And it was like in my heart and it was like in my subconscious. All I heard was I protected you that whole time, and it was like a flashback, like a movie. And I remember I was just sitting back there with my hands raised and I just couldn't hold it. I tried to, tears just started rushing down.
And
My stomach started hurting.
you was driving, or
I'm at church.
oh, okay,
I'm done with school, right?
okay,
So now I'm not trying to let everybody, see what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm at church, just like, all right, nothing
Sober.
really happened at school.
Everything calm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I ain't even around that stuff so no more, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't do it no more.
Right.
So I was going through that, and then I had came to church that Sunday, and it was just like overflow of like the love and the mercy and grace. And I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking about it like a movie, like all the times where I could have been dead or in jail
Mm-hmm.
or just all this type of stuff, and I know I would have been in hell.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to like, because he saw fit to that I had some type of goal, some type of destiny, some type of it's something that I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw fit to spare me up to this point and not have me feel any type of way towards myself, any hate towards myself. And it was, I would beat myself up for sure, because
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, why did I do that, or why do I do this? And I would just beat myself up. And he, in that forgiveness, that love poured in, like, and it just kind of molded me. That's really the first time I can say like I understood, like started to understand why I love God. Like, not because of what he does that we know of, but the stuff that he do for us even when we don't know. The stuff that he did for us before we were here. The stuff that he already had set in stone, plans for our lives, sent his son, like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for that. Once I understood the grand scheme that it wasn't for us, but you gotta make it personal, that was for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it changed for me. Like, when I stopped going, he did all this for us. He did this for my mom and my daddy and the Cody family and Fairhope or First Church. No, he did that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's when I kind of was like, all right, I gotta start to do something for him. And not that I even believed that it was anything by like works or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't giving him no time. I wasn't praying. Now I don't leave nowhere without praying.
Mm-hmm.
And in school I probably prayed the amount of fingers I got
Right.
my whole 5 years.
Right.
Unless it was about football. If it was
Right.
about football, I prayed.
You
If
was
it
a
wasn't
prayer
about
warrior.
football, amount of fingers on my hand.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
real. So what is something that, because that's a crazy time lapse. You're the youngest child.
Mm,
You go from being in a family where you got both parents. Might not be the best upbringing financially or
mm-hmm.
whatever
Mm-hmm.
somebody can say, but you got both parents. You
Yep.
got siblings. You got love around you.
Mm-hmm.
You eat every day.
Yep.
All this type of stuff. Um, and then you get into sports. Sports is like, oh man, sports is good. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting popular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting good. I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting known from people. I go from high school to college, and all this momentum cuts off.
Yep.
And so then you turn into a crash out.
Yep.
As
Yep.
far as like in terms with me and
Yep.
God, I
Yep.
crashed out.
Yep.
You know, I did whatever I wanted to do. I did stuff I did want to do, but I just didn't want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And to now be full circle with a abundant relationship with God, and of course still growing.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that you could leave somebody with all the experiences that you have? What is like the person that is maybe in high school, maybe even younger, because there's some kids who go through
Yeah.
stuff like this,
Yeah.
or even worse,
Yeah.
or somebody who may be in college, but the person who is going through their situation and they felt like you felt,
Mm-hmm.
like when you feel like, God, I thought this was gonna work. God, I thought you wanted me to do this.
Yep.
This is what I care about,
Yep.
God. Why are you not helping me?
Yep.
What is something that you can give them to divert them from maybe going that path that you went, or even if they in that path, to pull them out?
Um, Only way I know how to do that is to break it up into two portions.
Mm-hmm.
First portion for the people who are going into that going into that path, and you haven't really, you haven't maybe divulged into nothing, but you may be going into high school or middle school or college, or you know what I'm saying, nothing really crazy happened to you, but you believe in God. Just know it's coming, and God isn't doing this to you. He's allowing, but he isn't doing this to you. Some things he allows for you to grow. Some things he allows for you to hey, I'm right here.
Mm.
Like, acknowledge me.
Mm-hmm.
And through those things, you can't be like me, because it's not promised that you're going to live through it. It's not promised. I'm not saying I'm more special than you.
Right.
I'm just saying it was a different route, and you can't do everything that you want to do. Because if that was the case, then nobody would die at parties, and nobody would die from drunk driving, and nobody would kill themselves because of depression. You can't do what you see everybody else do and feel like, oh, they was okay, I'll be okay. Nah, you have to know that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. So you have to be able to discern and be prayed up, and read your word, and so you can have that strength for when those times come where you in your room like, why God, you can be like, man, I'm tripping. God got me. He gonna take me through this. And for the people that did take that path that I did, and you still alive, like, I can confidently say, bro, you tripping.
Mm.
I'm not judging you at all, because I'm still you.
Mm-hmm.
Cause sin is sin.
Mm-hmm.
But to be living a dangerous path, whatever that may be, and not be acknowledging God because you feel like you're angry, or you feel like what was done to you as a kid was unfair, or what you went through was unfair. Nobody's saying you deserve that. You didn't deserve that. 5-year-old you didn't deserve that. 12-year-old you didn't deserve that. 17-year old you don't deserve to feel that way or go through that pain, or your parents shouldn't have did this, or your loved one shouldn't have did that. But you still here. So you gotta keep going, change that lifestyle, and don't beat yourself up, or really and truly have self-pity on yourself. Because the younger you that before any of that happened wouldn't have did that. The you before any of that pain and all that bitterness and all that anger came, they would have been okay. They wouldn't have beat themselves up like that, or tried to punish themselves, or decided to give up on God. They would have kept fighting. So just change your ways, and find your true relationship with God, and know, like, he's shown you so much mercy and grace. Like, it's crazy. And I promise you, I'm a living witness. I might not have gone through what you went through, or I might not have seen what you seen, but from what I've seen, and from what I know, God is real. Like, he real, and all you gotta do is give him a try, and I promise you, he gonna show himself. I promise you, he gonna show himself to you. It's up to you to accept it. So just lock in. That's really all I can say, to break it up in two parts.
Yeah, yeah, that's real. So this is the last question I'm gonna ask, and this is like probably the most serious question. Um, who was better, me or you, in high school?
Okay,
And and,
okay,
and I'm gonna edit
okay,
this. I'm gonna put some of our clips in,
okay, okay, okay.
and I'm gonna let the people. But who was the better high school football player? I ain't talking about what they did after. I'm talking about like if everything stopped after high school. Who was better? Who are people gonna say? Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie, he was cold. What you think?
I ain't gonna lie. What are we talking about?
I ain't talking about no respect.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Who was
better.
better?
And nobody won championships.
Got you.
Neither
Got you.
one of us won championships. So
Got you.
who was the better player? I ain't talking about who had the best team. Who was the better player? It seems like I'm trying to make it by myself.
Yeah. 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 Um.
Who was the better? Who was the better player in your opinion? Seriously.
Seriously, and I want y'all to know this hard for me, because I'm a very confident person. I like me over a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you was that inspiration, for real, for real. I wore 10 after you wore 10. like the way you moved on the field, it was like it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I tried to remodel that, and I feel like I did a pretty good job. You know, we made history, even though we didn't
Yeah,
win a championship. We
yeah, I
made some
did.
history, and I was a very key part in that history making. But I feel like individually, you might have got me by point one. Point one, you got me. Point one.
I ain't gonna lie. I think the opposite, and I ain't trying to like make this like
Yeah,
no
yeah,
modest contest.
yeah,
I'm serious because a lot of the things I know that I am more exciting to watch and more graceful looking
yeah,
than a lot of people who are better than me.
yeah,
Like if somebody watch me play, they like, oh, he cold before the
yeah,
game over.
yeah,
But to me, you had a like a executionary aspect to your game that
yeah,
was like it might not be as pretty as T, but he gonna score.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
he might not make the dude fall,
Exactly,
but he gonna get the first down.
exactly, exactly.
And I think yours was more so I'm gonna get the job done in whatever way I can. And I feel like that makes you better
Mm,
by that point one.
mm.
But
Okay, then I'm
and
better.
I think
Okay, I'm better. I'm better.
no,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
You had that on the kickoff return
Yeah.
at the 20-yard line. You don't get top. You still got enough
Yeah.
leg to
Yeah.
get in the end
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that is what makes the difference in athletes a lot of time because there's a lot of very very spectacular, shocking athletes, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
difference
Yep.
in like that dude. I forgot his name. His name was like I think his name was like Philip Lindsay, that running back that played for the
Yeah. Yeah.
Cole.
Yep.
He was cold when he played for the Broncos, but
Yep.
he wasn't pretty. You know what I mean? But he got the job done. And I
Exactly.
think that's what made him separate himself when he was playing
Exactly.
from a lot of running backs who were like the most popular.
Yeah.
He was more
Cause he
effective.
played in a good era. He played in a
Yes.
good
He
era.
played in some good running
Yep.
backs around.
So nah, I can definitely agree with that. I like when I think back on it, I ain't gonna lie, I tried to though. Like I tried to match your finesse and your
Right.
prettiness and your like you made it look effortless,
Right.
but my way looked like hard earned. But
Yes.
it was like equal results. One way hard earned, one way
Yeah.
look pretty. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can get with that.
Yeah, I'm with
I
it.
can get with that.
But yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you told that because I think a lot of people. I know a lot of y'all will benefit from it, even if you didn't necessarily go through what he went through. The feelings of like what he felt, somebody might have felt that before,
Yep.
even if it didn't take as much, or if it took more for them to go through the feel that.
Yep.
The feeling of man, I don't even know if God care about me.
Yeah.
Like, don't lie to yourself, like he said, but just do better. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it ain't about judging. It's more so about not making excuses, and that's that trainer in him. Like, get up. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Oh, I'm tired. No, we have to get the set done.
Yep.
And so he trains here in our area in Mobile and Baldwin County, and so if you are here and you looking for a trainer,
Yep.
we got Tim's Fitness, and he trains at a gym. He trains personally
Yep.
as
Yep.
well,
Yep.
so you can check him out, and we're gonna put all his socials and stuff in here. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you, bro.
Nah, man, I appreciate you. And one more thing, I wanted to tell them that you made a good point. What did you just say at the end? You was like, it's not so much judging you. What did you say?
I say it's not so much about judging you; it's just about you got to do better.
Yeah, like that was another thing. Like you gotta be real with yourself, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's a great title. Like you can trick yourself for real. Like that's the scary part. And I thank God. I
Mm.
thank God that I never developed that ability. Like I was never able. It didn't matter who
Deceive
was
yourself.
around. I couldn't. I couldn't. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got it all together? Nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, so you telling me you wouldn't go to heaven right now? No,
But you
no.
telling me to do better?
Yeah,
Because I know you need to do better.
yeah. We both do.
That's real.
So yeah, you just gotta be real with yourself. Nah, that was good, bro. That
Yeah,
was good.
for sure.
I
Well,
appreciate you, man.
all right, bro.
All right, man.